Emile Smith Rowe, Jorge Cuenca, Ryan Sessegnon, Fulham have been active in the transfer market in order to improve their squad. After losing key players in Mitrovic in 2023, then João Paulinho and Tosin in the summer of 2024, they had to bring in players to invest into Marco Silva's project. The Cottagers finished 13th in the 2024 season and even made a run to the Carabao Cup semi-final. With new arrivals along with the existing talented players like Raul Jimenez, Rodrigo Muniz, and Robinson, all being managed by a talented coach, there is nothing stopping Fulham from getting a top 10 finish in the league and potential silverware. Having lost some big players in the past 2 years, Fulham decided to make a big move in the transfer market, picking up Emile Smith Rowe. The 24-year-old is a marquee addition, a superbly talented player who on his day is a star, a player that can move the needle, a difference maker. He was excellent at Arsenal but couldn't replicate his good form after battling with injuries. That's the only concern with Smith Rowe. He has been dealing with groin injuries for multiple years now, because outside of these injuries, he is an incredibly talented player. After Arsenal had their worst league start in decades in 2021, Arteta decided to put faith into Smith Rowe, replacing Willian in the number 10 role in the match against Chelsea. Smith Rowe shone as Arsenal beat the Blues 3-1, ending their poor run of form. In the next 5 matches, Smith Rowe recorded 3 assists and scored a goal in a 2-0 FA Cup victory over Newcastle. On the 14th of March 2021, Smith Rowe played in the North London derby for the first time and delivered a man-of-the-match performance in a 2-1 win over Tottenham. Towards the end of the season, he scored the only goal in a win over Chelsea, having Arsenal do the double over their London rivals. In the 2022 season, he got 10 goals in the Premier League, becoming the first Hale End graduate since Cesc Fabregas to hit double figures in a season. Smith Rowe is quick, he's good on the ball, he can score. He's also super versatile. He can play on the wing, he can play through the middle. Like I said, there's not a lot of flaws in his game. He just hasn't been healthy enough to have consistent development. It seemed like every single time he was peaking or was getting into form, he would get hit with another injury setback. Just last season, he was man of the match as Arsenal beat Lyon 2-0. In a new environment, getting more first team opportunities, with a new medical team, maybe his injury issues will go away. I mean, if anybody can rejuvenate a career, it would be Marco Silva, based on what he did for Andres Pereira, for Willian, for Raul Jimenez. It's a risk worth taking because the upside is so high. If he stays healthy, he's going to be a star. But of course, these lingering injury issues are going to be the biggest concern when it comes to evaluating Smith Rowe's performance at Fulham. On top of Smith Rowe, Fulham signed another 24-year-old Englishman with tons of potential, Ryan Sessegnon. Ryan returns for the second time around to Fulham after 5 years at Tottenham, where he was unable to really make an impact. Neither Mourinho nor Conte was impressed with his performances, but to be fair, Sessegnon was also dealing with a lot of injuries. He missed half the 2023 season to a hamstring injury and then missed out on the entire 2024 season due to surgery. He still looked good in moments. He assisted Eriksen's goal against Red Star Belgrade in the Champions League. He scored against Bayern in his first Champions League start, becoming the youngest Tottenham player to score in a Champions League game. But similar to Smith Rowe, Sessegnon just wasn't getting a lot of first team opportunities. When you're at that age, you need regular playing time to develop, and he just wasn't getting it. In fact, one season, he was actually loaned to the Bundesliga to Hoffenheim. He's still a very young player and still superbly talented. I think all Fulham fans remember how good this guy was before leaving the club. Youngest player ever included in the PFA Championship Team of the Year. Fulham striker Cabano at the time said that Sessegnon was the future of English football, and Stefan Johansson said that he's 99% sure Sessegnon was going to be one of the top left backs in the world. It really did look that way. In 2018, he won an unprecedented 5 awards when he was named Championship Player of the Season, Young Player of the Season, Apprentice of the Year, and named in the Team of the Season and EFL Club Developed 11. That player is still in there somewhere. Marco Silva just has to bring him out. Robinson was tremendous in the 2024 season, so it will be interesting to see whether Sessegnon will be used as a backup left back or a rotational piece at that left back position, or if Silva wants to move Sessegnon up further up the pitch as a left winger, as a left midfielder. He can play both. Him and Smith Rowe can provide a lot of creativity in that attacking third, creating a ton of opportunities for Raul Jimenez and Muniz. On top of some new additions to help the attack, Fulham have signed Spanish defender Jorge Cuenca to bolster the defense. After Tosin joined Chelsea on a free and Ream left to the MLS, there was a need for more defenders. Cuenca was part of Villarreal's first team squad for the 2023 and 2024 seasons, solidifying his role as a regular starter last season with 28 starts in all competitions. He made 37 appearances for the Yellow Submarine, helping them finish 8th in La Liga and reaching the last 16 of the Europa League. He also scored 3 goals and got an assist. Last season was the first season where Cuenca really got a lot of first team opportunities. He was initially signed in to be Pau Torres' replacement because they had a very similar style, both very good on the ball, left-footed center backs. especially since at the time there was a lot of rumors that Pau Torres was going to move on and join a different club. But despite the rumors, Torres didn't move to Aston Villa until the 2023 season. So until he left, Cuenca wasn't getting as much opportunities, but then last season he was a nailed-on starter. Cuenca used to play for Barcelona's reserve team, so as you can imagine, he's very good on the ball. Because of his technical ability, he has also been used as a left back. His best qualities are his passing and his ability to win aerial duels both defensively and in attacking areas. He actually has quite an eye for goal. He's a very good aerial threat, especially from corners and set pieces. Speed is a weakness though for the Spaniard. He struggles against fast attackers, specifically when there's balls in behind and he has to judge the space. The hope is that having someone like Bassey or Diop next to him can help him out. As a young defender, he's also known for falling asleep sometimes in games, not tracking the runner, not marking properly. He also needs to get stronger to deal with more physical strikers. He's very much a signing for the future, hence the low transfer fee. Considering that Fulham had a pretty old squad, it was good to bring in a young player with tons of potential. There is hope that Marco Silva can develop him into the type of center back that he wants, because right now he's very raw. He has a lot of great qualities going for him, like how good he is on the ball and how good he is aerially, but he has to put on some size, he has to get stronger, especially coming into a league like the Premier League that's more physical. In La Liga you can get away because a lot of the games are very tactical, a lot about technical ability, especially a lot of the strikers you come up against. But in the Premier League, there's all different kinds of players. Like Haaland will eat this guy alive if he doesn't continue to develop into a top-level center back. There are rumors that Fulham is close to signing Diego Carlos. That would help immediately fix the defensive issues. Aston Villa fans claim that Diego Carlos didn't look as good after he came back from injury, but I mean, the guy did rupture his Achilles, so he might need more time. I still think he's a good center back. He's 31 with high wages, but he might be the guy to get as a stopgap while someone like Cuenca develops. There wasn't a ton of activity in the summer, but that's because Fulham's core is pretty good. Robinson was arguably the best left back in the league in 2024. Only 4 defenders got more assists than the American as he bombed up and down the left flank. Rodrigo Muniz was Fulham's top scorer despite only starting 18 games. He got 9 goals, really picking up form towards the back end of the season as he was given more playing time. He was top among the Cottagers for shots on target, and shots in the box, as well as expected goals and big chances. His physical presence up front combined with his finishing was huge for Fulham in terms of creating chances and scoring goals. With Smith Rowe and Sessegnon creating chances, he can score even more goals. Fulham also have Raul Jimenez, who got 7 goals. The two of them can hopefully replicate Mitrovic's output. Not sure what happens now with Andres Pereira. His skill set seems to be a little bit redundant with Emile Smith Rowe, but Silva could push one of them out to the wing and play the other one down the middle. They can work together. Pereira is a good technical player. He got 3 goals and 9 assists in the 2024 season. Definitely one of those players that can create a moment of magic out of nothing. The biggest concern for Fulham will be that they haven't been able to replace Paulinho. I mean, it's difficult to replace one of the best holding midfielders in the league, but that should be a huge priority for them to bring some balance into the squad. There were rumors about Fulham signing McTominay, but he's not a natural number 6. If McTominay is signed, I would think that would be a great signing. Not so much as a Paulinho replacement, but for a different profile in the midfield. McTominay is an aerial threat, he gets into the box, he plays with a ton of energy, good aggression. I think he's quite underappreciated at United, but his profile would fit very well and is something that Fulham doesn't really have in the midfield right now. But again, the top priority should be a Paulinho replacement, somebody to fill in that number 6 role to really elevate the squad. Iwobi, Traore, Bassey, Castagna are all good players. The quality is there. There are definitely other areas that still need improving, but the current Fulham team is good enough to push for a Conference League spot and a deep run in one of the cups, especially with a manager like Silva who has shown enough in the last 3 years to really have belief in his project. The competition is going to be tough though, like a team like West Ham were even more active in the transfer market than Fulham. To see the players that West Ham signed and why they would pose as a threat to Fulham's chances at a European spot, you have to check out this video right here.